Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, to everybody in the chat. Special welcome to our members of the channel, and a big thank you to the moderators who are helping out today. I appreciate all of your hard work. Whew, we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, so we are going to be jumping in it. My name's Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news. It has the internet buzzing. We touch on my 35 years in Scientology and leaving with 3 generations of my own family. Throughout the week, I'm going to do different interviews and some collaborations with other creators. So when you hit the subscribe button, be sure to hit the notification bell as well and set it to all. So hopefully you get those notifications. And while you're in here now, please do head over and give that like button a little bit of attention. I would appreciate it. And you might want to check your subscribe button as well. It's like when you get on an airplane or in a car, you put your seatbelt on. I feel like every time I log on or I go to a creator's page, I check my subscribe button because I've been unsubscribed from a couple. I still don't understand how that works, but it does. So I just keep resubscribing. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Okay. Did you guys watch? We're going to talk about a whole ton of things. Peeling the onion. They had an amazing thing happen with reuniting a family, and we are going to take a look at that. This was amazing, and it came about because in an interview that they did with an ex-Scientologist, who a family member, I believe if I have it straight, was the grandson of this person, the grandson and the parent have been fed lies for 50 years about this person from Scientology. So there was disconnection. This family was destroyed and had been kept apart. Well, reconnection is happening because the truth is coming out, and they got to hear from the family member who was in Scientology, who's now an ex-Scientologist. And that also speaks to the importance when people are willing and able to share their stories. It can reach so many people, not just your own family, but even other ones as well, because they might go, wait a minute, this family's being reunited after 50 years, and it turns out Scientology was lying to them. Could that be the situation in my case? Yes, it totally could. It absolutely could. So let's take a look at this. We're going to look at a couple clips from this, and this is from Peeling the Onion.
And is we now have proof that people under the radar are watching us, and our message is getting out there on connecting with the family or finding people that you've not been connected with for a long time. And this win that we had was a 17-year-old in college over in Europe watched our show and called the parent and told the parent that the father was on our show and to watch it. And after 50 years of separation, child and parent reconnected from watching us. It was like unbelievable, just unbelievable. And both sides were so emotional having found each other, and they're now working out.
They're now working out, getting together. It's just amazing. That is such a beautiful thing. That's what we love to hear. And it just speaks so much to why we do this. It's about preventing people from falling prey to Scientology and other high control groups in the first place, and then doing what we can to raise awareness and help people inside understand what's happening, that their doubts are valid, that a lot of what happened to them and they saw that was wrong within Scientology, whether it was financial abuses, physical or otherwise, are seen and experienced by other people. It is just a beautiful thing. It just made me so happy. And here Janice talks, this is Janice Grady, talks about the lies that were told
because
that perpetuated this disconnection that went on for so long, all that time lost. But I'm sure this family is going to make up for that lost time. Hold on a second. Let me start this at the beginning. Let's listen to this.
Well, and also, Mark, I want to point out part of what was underlining all this was lies. You know, the person who had been in Scientology was being lied to and being told made up stuff. And so, you know, by a person coming on our show and telling their story, it explained things to that child that they went, wait a minute, I've been lied to for 50 years. And that's when and they made the breakthrough themselves. So coming on our show and telling your side of the story will help.
It's so true. And not everybody who leaves Scientology is ready to do that. And that is totally okay. It needs to be in your own time, at your own pace. For some, when I first left Scientology, my original plan was to be quiet about it and just leave. But, you know, Scientology being Scientology, they had to get all culty and come at my family and try to take my daughter. And so I had to be culty back and use their own rules against them to get them to stop this behavior. And I did speak publicly about it and did some interviews early on, and then, you know, kind of got going with my life, taking care of my family and all of that. Needed to go through more of my own healing, find more tools for life myself, and then return back to it at a point where for me, I was ready to share more of my story, share the stories of other people, more importantly, and elevate the voices of people who want to spread this message, because I think it's that important. It was other people coming forward and sharing their personal stories in Scientology that helped my family and I leave. And quite a few Scientologists that I know. So that's very, very powerful. But we also can't rush that. When we help people, for example, through the SPTV Foundation, many of them, they don't want this to be a public thing. And I get that. And that has to be respected. But when there is somebody who's willing to come forward and share that story, it is such a beautiful thing. And I'm here for that as well and would love to elevate that voice. All right, now we're going to jump over to L. Ron HUBCULT. Oh, over in Europe, they're doing some great things. He shares about what happened when he tried to get his money back from Scientology. We're just going to go look at a little clip of this. But as per usual, down below, you're going to find links to all the videos that we're talking about, so you can go watch them in their entirety. We just take a little peek, a little look, but all of these videos are worth watching and seeing. And if you might find somebody new to YouTube or new to you, be sure to follow that creator on that channel if that's somebody that you connect with and they're creating content that you find interesting, entertaining, engaging, whatever it is, whatever your reasons are that bring you here to YouTube. So let's take a look at what L. Ron HUBCULT was saying about when he tried to get his money back from Scientology.
Give me back my money or else I will sue the shit out of you. And the answer was, okay, you need to come in, you need to sign the waiver, and then you can get your money. You can get your money back. And I wrote to him, okay, I'm not coming in. You can send me the waiver. I can take a look at it with my lawyer, which I did not have. I was bluffing, but I was curious what is this waiver is, because I have never done such a thing. So he said, no, I am not sending to anybody. Or you can give me your lawyer's name and email address, and I can send it to him.
That is so interesting because, of course, you know what these waivers are. They're basically a bunch of, you're not going to sue us, you're not going to say anything and all of that. Whereas he should just get his money back. That's just really as simple as it should be. L. Ron Hubbard even has policy about this, that if you have money on account that has not been used and somebody asks for a refund, you are supposed to refund it. But go take a look at his whole story because he kind of shares the whole thing, and it's really an eye-opener. And I've really been loving seeing the content that he and Scientology Up North have been creating and sharing, and the people that they've been reaching there in their community that are Scientologists. They've got just amazing content up. Like I said, we've highlighted some of it, and they're doing a great job. So be sure to check it out. Other big news. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see growing up in Scientology? This was on I think it was on a couple other channels as well, about the connection of the judge who's approving some of these temporary restraining orders in Los Angeles, having a connection to Scientology. So we are going to take a little look at that from growing up in Scientology. Judge who approved restraining order has ties to Scientology is the name of the video. Let's give it a little listen.
This doesn't even include, guys, that Streets LA was served with a temporary restraining order quite some time ago. And his hearing, his hearing started 2 days ago. And that restraining order was from a guy who claims to have nothing to do with Scientology. He's not a Scientologist. His name is Joey. And in court today, even though this guy is not a Scientologist, never has been, he had to admit on the stand today that his legal bills are being paid by Scientology. Okay, so we have 3 restraining orders served on.
That right there, just that piece right there too was amazing. That it came out in court. This guy, right? Nothing to do with Scientology, really, but Scientology is paying his legal fees. Busted.
3 different protesters with Scientology pulling the strings behind the scenes in ways that are not obvious. I mean, you would think that the restraining orders would be being served on these protesters by Scientology for their protesting activities, but they're not. It's that we're supposed to believe that these things are totally disrelated. So you go, how are these things getting approved? Well, it turns out the judge that approved Danny's restraining order, temporary restraining order, has ties to Scientology. This is absolutely incredible. Let me show you, for any who are not yet familiar, this is Danny's YouTube channel. If you just search Danny, you probably won't get the right result. But if you use his handle at Danny's Impact.
Amazing. If you've not seen the whole video, you're going to watch it because he breaks it down even more. And these are the kind of facts that, you know what, they come out. The truth just has a way of coming out. So it will be interesting to see what comes from this, right? With this connection, there's going to be more on it. For a more in-depth look, definitely go check out Aaron's video at Growing Up in Scientology. All right. So, Oh No Nora did a video yesterday letting Scientology know that their time is up in a way that only Nora can. This was fabulous. Let's take a look at it. Again, this is Oh No Nora.
Okay. And we need to make sure that, we are keeping the eye on the ball. And I know all of you guys are. I'm just saying it out loud into the ether. Here's the deal, Scientology. This isn't going to stop. This isn't going to the end. This isn't going to end until you are no longer a recognized religion in this country. There are no more kids in Scientology. We get all of the elders out of Scientology. And you don't get to run your real estate tax, hideaway scheme anymore in this country. You don't get to legally child or human traffic people. That is over. So get as mad as you want. Okay? Be mad. Good. Because you are over. Period. Okay? And we need to...
How great is that? I just love it. And it's a very clear message. And I would agree with that. So good on Nora. Link down below so you can see more of her videos and things as well. All right. For those of you, if you are not familiar with Cult and Atheists, you need to get familiar. I have been loving her content as well. She did a short stream yesterday, link down below, about the commonalities between, there's that new program out about the TikTok dance cult that's tied to that one church. Have you guys been watching that? Tell me in the chat. If you're catching on the replay, no slacking, tell me. I started it. I need to finish it. There's just like so much content and so little time sometimes. I need to finish it. But Jenny makes some interesting parallels between this TikTok cult and how Scientology works. I thought it was fantastic. We're going to just take a little peek. Link down below for the full video.
So then as he goes on, he comes up with the idea of capitalizing on these TikTok dancers and creates a 7M management company. And he gets them involved in the church as well. But what he's doing is he's getting them, I guess, manipulated or whatever, however he's doing it, he's getting them to see that when they start having lots of followers, or they get like a sponsorship thing or an advertisement thing where they're making money, they start to attribute it to the church. So then it's like, they start getting bonded and it gets solidified. And the thing that 7M, that whole little relationship between the two reminded me of is how Scientology has WISE, which is the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises, which is the business front.
That is spot on. We've talked about this on the channel. You've heard it on other channels as well. Scientology's front group, the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises, they take L. Ron Hubbard's administrative technology and bring it into businesses. And they pay a cut of their consulting fees to Scientology and then try to recruit these people into Scientology. And they often do. And they tend to be professionals, very common amongst dentists, chiropractors, optometrists. Those seems to be a lot of the clients and other people in those professional settings where running the office and all of that is not kind of your main job, right? If you're an optometrist, you're focused on your craft and that. This is very much similar to what's happening with the TikTok dance cult in how, oh, you're doing well, you get a sponsorship. Oh, it's because of the church. It's because of the church. And they try to make that association and that tie. That's what happened in the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises. Oh, except it can be the opposite too. It's like, oh, where else are you having trouble? Oh, you're having trouble at home. Oh, this worked in your business. Let us help you in your personal life. Now, if somebody has not applied any type of administrative organization or anything to their business, almost anything could help. So they sometimes get just with the basics of organizations will go ahead and some things might help. And that's kind of like how they make the sell on getting the person into Scientology. She just makes such a great point. I love that. I just love that. I need to remember, I've been dying to, I want to do a live stream with her because I have a million questions. I've been watching some of her content and interview with Aaron. I need to remember that. Nancy, maybe you can help me remember that I want to reach out to her. Oh, wait, is she here? Hold on. Hey, Jenny, I want to talk to you. Can you send me your phone number, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com? I want to do a live stream. I've got a million questions. Love what you're doing. All right, so there we go. Everybody, don't let me forget. Let's take a look at the Blue Buildings. YOUTOLOGY did one of their compilation videos, which we always love. And this one was taking a look behind the curtain at this bizarre and strange kids fest happening on L. Ron Hubbard Way. At this point, you know what? You guys tell me your take on this. Tell me in the chat. Tell me on the replay in the comments. Do you think Kids Fest is 100% just a reason to shut down L. Ron Hubbard Way because of everything going on around it? And they knew it was coming? Or is this an actual event they tried to have and just nobody showed up? It could be both, but I'm curious as to what your guys' take is on that. I've been marinating in that one, but I would love to hear it. So please do share that with me. Let's take a look at this clip. Again, this is from YOUTOLOGY. I mean, look at that. There's cars there now. They're parking on L. Ron Hubbard Way. I thought that couldn't be done. And all you see are Seaorg members all over the street. Whereas normally, how does it look? Dead as a doornail or doorknob. Dead as a, what is that phrase? Well, I digress. Ooh, let's close the curtain a little bit. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't see what's happening here. But you can see, and then somebody walks out from behind the curtain who, as we understood it, needed assistance, a cane or a scooter, but appears to be walking around just fine with none of that. And that would be Scooter Man, who we know from earlier videos. There he is in his operating Thetan zip-up hoodie sweatshirt. Just going along like nothing. So, yes, it's interesting to me that there's so many people compared to what it normally looks like on the street on L. Ron Hubbard Way. And yeah, nothing's happening. Okay, so some of you are saying Rem Arts, I think it's fake to shut down L. Ron Hubbard Way. Tim, I agree. Thank God no kids. But there were kids the other day is what we had heard too. So it is interesting. But yes, I'm going to go back and read your comments there. Blow Drill. Hey, Dylan. How do you plan a community event without prior notice and advertising? It's fairly clear it's a distraction. That's kind of what I was thinking because they did do an Eventbrite or something like that. That's how we all got the information. But they really didn't seem to work at it. You would think that there would just be at least, some people. But I think you're right there, Dylan. Okay, also at the Blue Building, MD Media 18 was going around and seeing a few things, including a clip that this clip shows the only people at the Kids Fest seem to be a bunch of guys, and particularly these two, until I think they get shooed away at some point by a Scientologist who sees that there's filming. But What's happening here? Let's take a look. Looks like we have some nipple flashing there from the man smoking the cigarette and drinking the beverage. And this is where Kids Fest is happening, by the way.
Of course, the two men came out of that child care camp, whatever it is, the kids zone.
Yeah, just weird, creepy, weird, creepy, weird, creepy. And yeah, I thought the flashing was a little like, let me get this straight. So a man at a kids fest can lift his shirt and flash his chest like that, but a woman protesting who allegedly her boob comes into contact with a Scientology staff member, and let's get arrested over that. Let's bring up charges from that. That just makes absolutely no sense at all. Hey, Eric Rader, great to see you there in the chat. Okay, let's take another look at, so MD Media 18 talks to a man he sees walking in the parking lot. And also there's these weird, I don't know, what are these, barriers or something that Scientology is trying to put up along the street? I'm not quite sure what this is. Let's look.
So I found out where they're recruiting guys. Eddie L., that gentleman. I will go back there tomorrow where they're recruiting. He was shaking. He was shaking big time. He was nervous. He watched the video. He just gave him his phone number and his email. He didn't give him any money, which is good. So, but I know where they're recruiting now. They're out there recruiting, and they're in just curious T-shirts. Those ones that I showed you in the video. So I will be going back there later on in the afternoon. Tomorrow.
So they're out there not recruiting in uniforms, it sounds like, but there's Are You Curious T-shirts. Maybe they think that that's going to be a less recognizable. I'm not quite sure, but it's interesting that this person came and let MD Media 18 know what his experience was and what's happening with this Scientology recruitment and where it is. So I'm excited to see what ends up happening today and if he heads over there. The Scrapbooker, thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate that. Hey, Natalie, love your channel and your recaps. Thank you. Virginia, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. That's really kind of you. All right, where are we at? We are at the Blue Building. What is happening with these traffic lights? You know, on L1 Hubbard Road and right where the parking structure is. So we are going to look at a clip from ENRI MARINI, who is questioning and thinks that the Scientology might be controlling the traffic lights, which would be odd. It would be odd. It is odd, but I wouldn't put it past them. Honestly, at this point, I would not. But let's take a look at this and you guys tell me what you think. I have no idea how traffic lights work, but take a look.
With that control panel, for sure, they definitely have access to the power for the control panels for both of these lights, because some of no, definitely not. Oh baby, that's interesting. All right, anyway, with that control panel, for sure, they definitely
Interesting. Like I said, I'm not sure how that works, but Virginia, thank you so much for that. Boob gate, haha. That's right, it's a whole nother boob gate. Oh, that was just some things you can't unsee. And you know what? I want to apologize for showing that clip earlier because it's still kind of burned in my brain and I'm going to need a brain scrub to get rid of it. But I think we're going to get a good brain scrub from some of the clips that we're going to share. Hey, Dusty Soda Dispenser. And I saw Farrell Cheryl's in there too. Great to see you. All right, let's take a look at a closer look at these concrete structures that we could see in that other video and see if we can make any sense about what these are and what's happening on L1 Hubbard Way. Like, what is this? Are they going to put up one of those big plastic things again where, you know, it covers the top? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just about as I'm not sure that he knew either. You can see into the kids fest there, right? Nothing happening, just blocking off the street.
This side.
pallets of something. What could that be? Maybe somebody can zoom in and it says somewhere on something. I can't quite make it out. What do you think? Has anybody seen anything like this before? I don't know, Remarts. Could it be more planters? They look kind of smaller than planters. Ooh, 91. Is that it? Cement bags? I don't know. Nicole's saying making sure they don't camp there. Oh, I don't doubt at all that that is definitely not part of it, for sure. For sure. Malta. Poop tech. Well, they did that at the Celebrity Center. They put manure all around Celebrity Center as if it was a moat. So who knows? Who knows? But since to Scientology, you are correct. They spend their parishioners' money freely. Absolutely. It's so weird. It's so weird. Okay, let's go over to the encampment and look at a stream by Confident Chris. Confident Chris went and got some lights to light up the place because, it gets dark there. He brought lights for Solomon's bike, for the porta potty, and just for kind of the whole area. That was really cool that he did that. Let's take a look.
Fans. You know who that guy was? Yeah. You don't know who I was. Have a good night, guys. Good night.
Take it easy.
Cargo pants. He didn't even know who he was. Gotcha. Gotcha, guys.
Oh, this is probably a magnet. No.
I'm alert. Gotcha. Okay. Nobody knew who he was. Guys, I kind of showed his face a little bit, but I didn't want to put it like in his face. Look at this one.
When I got here, you kind of dogged me.
That Solomon's got he got that light on the back there. I don't know if he already, well, it looks like the front light's on the bike, but that red light there on the back. Then they put together these different lanterns and put them around and had them in the porta potty as well. That was so great. I think it's great that he did that and very appreciated. Then there was a little funny moment with Chris and Scientology Audit Streets LA and Mini Streets. Don't know if you noticed. Confident Chris was wearing his hoodie that has the little mini streets on it. And just so happens the actual streets is standing right there in that particular hoodie. This is just cute and funny.
Wait. Streets, can you just smile really quick? Streets, can you just smile really quick? Okay. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Can you not show? Can you? I will, guys. When he walks away.
So that was hilarious because I'm sure they didn't plan that. I'm sure he just ended up wearing that and then he wore the yellow one. I thought it was fantastic. Yes, I agree, Farrell Cheryl. I thought it was hilarious. I'm glad you guys share my sense of humor as well. I thought it was funny. People who are here already, could you guys please all head over and hit that like button for me? I would really appreciate it. It helps us get out notifications, helps this video and these messages get out to more people. It is a huge and simple way to help out, and I really appreciate you doing that. So go hit that like button. Oh, it's so great. All right, let's take a look now at also on Confident Chris. He saw more, the Seaorg members are coming out now because of that barrier. But the hilarious thing is they're still being seen and videoed. But you see them kind of run away. Watch this. You can see him through there. And then one guy notices the camera and doesn't even tell his friends. He just walks off nope, I'm out. And then they're still standing there. And then he calls them away. And then they're like, boom. They just walk off because they could see the camera. But they have not eluded Chris.
So then they can just chill when I'm around. They're gonna move again, watch. Look at the Seaorgs. Look at the Seaorgs.
It sounds like I love how he says the Seaorgs. They are so silly, but they're really being pressured to not be photographed. Don't be photographed. Do not be videoed, because as we saw, and I think it was the first clip that we shared today, a family is being reunited after 50 years of Scientology disconnection. When people come out and they're seen and they're recognized by family, it can stir a lot of things up, and the cult does not want that. So I'm like, video away, but they will continue to try and run from it. It's not going to save them. Okay, this next clip, I don't know what's happening. It sounds almost like people are doing some kind of, is it a class? Is it a what? You can hear voices. I want to know your guys' take on this. This is from MD Media 18. You might have to turn your volume up because it's a little faint. I've got it turned up as loud as it will go. What are people doing here at 10:30 at night behind here? Is it, I don't know what it is. Let's listen. You guys tell me what you think.
Doing like karate moves. I hear them yelling and chatting, like karate moves.
You hear that? What is it? What do you guys think that is? Anybody have any thoughts on that? He thought maybe like a karate. Maybe they're doing self-defense. Maybe. I don't know. It was just a little weird. It was weird. Hey, Amber, good to see you there. Just odd. All right, let's go over to Phoenix. JDSA is over in Phoenix protesting. I would shout out the woman with him, but I don't know her name. So if somebody knows and if she has a channel, do let us know so we can give her a shout out as well. Phoenix is an interesting location. One, super hot. Secondly, the way the building is, it's humongous, but nothing's happening. But they found a busy part of the street and were able to get their message out that way. Let's take a look.
I really like how busy this road is, though. I think there's a lot of potential for a good picket here. Like, so, you get 3-4 people together, it's like it'll be magical, trust me. So people will be looking over what's going on over there.
I feel like this traffic's pretty persistent too.
It is.
The rush hour, I think, ending.
Yeah, we got a beep, guys. We got a beep.
They got a beep. But this lovely woman here holding the Honk It's a Cult sign, I want to give her a shout out, but I don't know if she has a channel or her name. Lenny says, I think her name is Anastasia. Okay, cool. Yeah, if she has a channel, let us know. But otherwise, I'm glad that she's out there doing that. I love it. Let's take a look at Kansas City, one of my other favorite places to check in on. And let's see, whose stream is this? We are looking at Z News. Look at that. I got unsubscribed. Okay, hitting subscribe again, hitting the like button. All right, let's take a look at Z News out in Kansas City.
Oh, nice. Nice little window shade. Here, I'll show you guys the sign really quick. Yeah, let me show that to my screen. Personality test, Dianetic Scientology, cult abuses kids, elders, families, finance, minds. Nice. And that's like a car shade. That's
how great, because you can put it up in the window. I love the creativity, right? If you're protesting, but you want to keep a sign in the car and you don't want to take up a lot of space, do it on one of those. You can put up in the window or you can fold it up. I just love it. I thought that was great. It made me want some of those. Plus, keep the heat out of the sun. All right, let's take a look. This is also Kansas City, and this is Auditing Scientology. Let's see, make sure I like the video. See, even I need reminders. Okay, let's take a look at this. Auditing Scientology, Kansas City.
That's all right. Chalk will be fine.
I don't know if you can see it, but she's got some hopscotch going there with the operating thetan levels. You can kind of see it at the bottom of the screen. I thought this was great, where you get to do a little hopscotch operating thetan level 1 all the way up through 8. I hope that I didn't get to catch the whole video. I was hoping that somebody actually would do the hopscotch. Is it called hopscotch where everybody is? Because I know, there's duck, duck, gray duck, 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 goose, and there's those differences, soda versus pop. Is it hopscotch all over the place? If you're out of the country, especially, let me know. Tell me in the comments if you're on the replay or pop it into the chat here because I am curious, but I do love the chalk tech and the scrapbooker. You do too. Chalk tech, love it. Yeah. Doom, doom. 1, 2, 3. I mean, made me want to actually do hopscotch. We're going to take a look at, we're going to go over to Denver. We haven't seen, it's been a hot minute since we've seen something in Denver. Let's see. We got Mexican long hairs out there with chalk tech again, which is fantastic. Kids in Scientology no more. He's got great messages put there in chalk in front of Denver Scientology. Let's take a look.
Scientology is the next message. And then of course, my YouTube channel. Hang on guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to get my chair and I'm going to wait for them to come out. So, we kind of have unlimited time. So I'm just going to.
I love that it's all by the stairs there where most of the Scientologists seem to go in. There's kind of a back area there in Denver and there's a front area. And when Jay was out there, we would see it a lot, the way that they would come and go. But a lot of people would come from that way and go up to Scientology that way. And I think it's like really cool to have that all covered. But good to see the chalk tech happening. Virginia, thank you for that. Body snatchers. Oh my gosh. Do you mean those things on the side of L. Ron Hubbard Way? Oh my gosh. Anybody else from was it the 70s or the 80s when that movie came out? Still scares the crap out of me. There was a remake done, I think, with Nicole Kidman. You remember Donald Sutherland? Oh, right? That just like freaks me out all the time. But yeah, maybe it's just body snatchers and they're going to pop out of there like the movie. Tony Hoban, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. I super appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dan Louie, do you have to throw money to go up the Hopscotch Bridge? The Hopscotch Bridge. I love that even better. That's hilarious. All right, here is the deal. I got to wrap it up. I had to go early today because we got a bunch of doctors' appointments to get to, but I do want to share this with you. Here on my channel, Scientology Life After a Cult, I share the different ways that people protest and expose Scientology. That is something I'm going to continue to do. I know that in the community, there are people who have issues with certain people, and that's going to be talked about, and people will do videos about it and all of that. That is not going to stop me from sharing content from anybody who's out there protesting Scientology. Now, the other part of this, make sure if you're a creator, you can send me links of your content as well. Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. You know your content more than anybody. So you'd be the perfect person to clip a 60-second clip. The more easier you make it for me, the more likely we're going to be able to highlight it because I am short on time almost constantly these days with everything that's going on. So go ahead and do that. I've spoken to a couple creators recently and who I don't know why, but seem to think that they couldn't do it. By all means, do it. People send in tons of clips. But as a creator, you know your content, you know where things happen. Maybe you have somebody who can help you in doing it or doing it yourself. So if you want to get something in front of me, send me a link, send me a timestamp, send me a clip, tell me what I'm looking at, a link to an article or anything like that. And we are going to continue to share it and do all of that. People will have disagreements that happens in and around every community. That is not something that I'm, have any care to get into. It's going to happen. I'm more interested in what is that person doing to expose Scientology. That's what we're going to share because that's why we're here, to elevate the voices of the victims of Scientology, the people affected by it, and to share and get these messages out far and wide so that we can prevent people from joining Scientology in the first place. It is a lot easier to stop people from joining Scientology than it is to get a Scientologist out. But me personally, I want to do both. I have a desire and a purpose to do both because I was one of those people who felt trapped in Scientology. And because ex-Scientologists came forward and shared their stories and put themselves out there publicly, I was able to see those messages. So were others like me. So were members of my family. That helped us to leave Scientology. Today, we have that going on such a larger level with this community on YouTube and other platforms where we can elevate those voices and their stories and get that word out. That is what we're doing here. That is what I'm interested in doing. So keep those clips coming, keep the links coming, and we're going to continue doing that. And anyone who would like to do that totally can. Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. Now, having said that, just because you sent me a clip does not mean I'm going to be able to use it. Things move really fast. I'm up at 5 a.m. It takes me 2.5 hours, sometimes 3, to prep and get through things so that I can get things ready to go. And there's just so many. It's not a matter of me not wanting to or any other reason. It is about bandwidth and time. And if it doesn't get in and you're passionate about it, then send it again. There, just keep doing that. But I wanted to make that clear. It's we have 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes we go a little bit over, but it's really more about bandwidth and all that. Hey, Liz Ferris, love you too. Thank you for that. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate your help. I appreciate all of the help of the mods here today as well. We are going to keep there's just like there's so much more that I wanted to get in this morning to share that I'm going to have to save for later. I've also got some interviews coming up this weekend. I'm going to be chatting with Deanna. If you remember her, she was in the Sea Organization as a teenager with L. Ron Hubbard out in international waters. And boy, does she have a story to tell. Right now, we're looking at Saturday. So when you hit the subscribe button, please also hit that notification bell so you get those other times that I go live. Thanks for rolling with me on the earlier time today. I appreciate all of you. And most importantly, I hope you guys get out there and have an amazing cult-free day.